Weather control has been a dream and a mystery for humans for a very long time. Imagine being able to make it rain when crops need water, or stopping a big storm before it causes damage. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but with how fast technology is growing, it's not crazy to think we might actually get there someday. If humans learned how to control the weather, it could change everything about how we live on this planet. For farmers, it could mean ending droughts by bringing rain exactly when it's needed, helping grow more food and feeding more people. For cities, it could mean less damage from hurricanes or floods because storms could be weakened or redirected. This kind of power could help protect lives and save money, but weather is not simple. It's made up of many parts working together: air, oceans, temperature, wind, and even the sun. All these things interact in ways we don't fully understand yet. So controlling the weather wouldn't be like flipping a switch. It would be more like trying to solve a giant puzzle where every piece affects the others. This means any change we make could cause effects far away or far in the future that we didn't expect. One big question is what exactly would happen if we started changing the weather on purpose. For example, if we caused rain to fall in one place, would another place lose its rain? Would making it sunny in one area cause a drought somewhere else? The Earth's climate system is connected across the whole globe, so messing with one part could cause big problems somewhere else. And then there's the danger of overusing this power. If humans got used to controlling the weather, they might start changing it for small reasons, like always having clear skies for outdoor events or cool temperatures on hot days. But every change in nature has a balance, and breaking that balance could lead to serious problems. For example, if we stop storms too much, it could stop important natural cycles that keep our environment healthy. So while the idea of controlling the weather sounds amazing, it's also scary to think about the possible dangers. It's a huge responsibility, and we would have to be very careful not to cause more harm than good. In the next part, we'll look at some ways scientists are already trying to influence the weather and what problems those efforts have faced. Even though fully controlling the weather is still a long way off, scientists have been experimenting with ways to influence it for decades. One of the oldest and most well-known methods is called cloud seeding. This technique tries to encourage rain or snow by adding tiny particles like silver iodide or dry ice into clouds. These particles help water droplets inside the clouds stick together and fall as precipitation. Cloud seeding has been used in different parts of the world since the mid-20th century. For example, during the drought in California in the 1970s, efforts were made to increase rainfall by cloud seeding. Some places have also tried it to reduce hail that can damage crops or buildings. While some reports say it helped, the results are mixed, and scientists still debate how effective it really is. Beyond cloud seeding, there are even bigger ideas called geoengineering projects. These involve changing the Earth's climate on a large scale to try and fix problems like global warming. One idea is to spray tiny particles high into the atmosphere to reflect some sunlight back into space, which could cool the planet a bit. This is sometimes called solar radiation management, but geoengineering brings up a lot of concerns. First, it's unclear what side effects could happen. Changing the amount of sunlight reaching Earth might cool some places, but cause droughts or floods in others. Also, if we relied on this to fight climate change, it might stop people from reducing pollution and greenhouse gases, which are the real cause of the problem. Another issue is who gets to decide when and how to use these technologies. Weather and climate affect the whole world. So if one country tries something and it causes problems in another, there could be serious conflicts. Imagine if a country caused rain to fall on its own farmland, but ended up causing droughts in a neighboring country. This could lead to political disputes or even fights. Scientists are also exploring new technologies that might improve how well we can predict the weather. Better forecasts could help us prepare for storms and avoid disasters without actually changing the weather itself. Using satellites, powerful computers, and better weather models, meteorologists are getting more accurate at knowing when and where extreme weather will happen. So, while cloud seeding and geoengineering show us some ways to influence the weather, they also teach us how tricky and risky this can be. The Earth's systems are delicate, and even small changes might create big problems we don't see coming. In the next part, we'll explore what could go wrong if weather control gets into the wrong hands, and what scary consequences might happen if things are pushed too far. One of the biggest worries about humans controlling the weather is what could happen if the technology falls into the wrong hands or is used without careful thought. Imagine if powerful weather control tools became weapons. Countries or groups might try to create storms, droughts, or floods to harm enemies or gain an advantage. This idea sounds like something from a thriller movie, but it's a real concern among scientists and governments. Weather warfare isn't new as a concept. In the 1960s, during the Vietnam War, the US military tried to use weather modification to extend the monsoon season, hoping to disrupt enemy supply routes. They used cloud seeding to cause heavy rains, but the full effects and consequences of those actions are still debated today. This shows how controlling weather, even on a small scale, can be unpredictable and controversial. Another scary possibility is that controlling the weather might create new kinds of natural disasters. Because weather systems are so complicated, changing one thing could trigger others. For example, if we tried to prevent hurricanes by cooling ocean temperatures in one area, it might cause stronger storms somewhere else. Or stopping rain in one place could lead to deadly droughts and wildfires. Also, weather control might hurt natural ecosystems that depend on certain weather patterns. Many plants and animals have adapted over thousands of years to the local climate. Sudden or artificial changes could disrupt migration patterns, breeding seasons, and food availability. This could lead to loss of biodiversity and damage to the environment that might be hard or impossible to fix. There's also the chance that people could become too dependent on weather control technology. If we start relying on machines to fix everything, we might forget how to prepare for natural events or adapt to changing conditions. And if the technology breaks down or stops working for some reason, the sudden return to natural weather patterns could cause chaos and confusion. These risks show that controlling the weather isn't just about technology, it's also about ethics, responsibility, and global cooperation. Who decides when to change the weather? How do we make sure it's done fairly and safely? These questions don't have easy answers, but they are important to think about as we move closer to making weather control a reality. In the next part, we'll look at some of the exciting scientific progress being made today and what the future might really look like if humans do gain control over the weather. Despite all the risks and challenges, scientists and researchers are still pushing forward with new ideas and technologies that could help us better understand and maybe even control the weather one day. One area showing promise is improving how we predict weather events. With better data from satellites and supercomputers, weather forecasts are becoming more accurate and can warn us earlier about storms, heat waves, or heavy rainfall. This means we can prepare better and reduce damage even if we're not fully controlling the weather yet. There are also exciting experiments with new materials that might help with weather modification. For example, some scientists are studying how tiny particles could help clouds produce rain more reliably, or how smart drones could spread these particles more precisely. These efforts aim to make cloud seeding more effective and less harmful to the environment. Another interesting idea is using nature itself to help control local weather. Planting more forests or restoring wetlands can change how moisture moves through the air and help regulate temperature. These natural methods might not be as fast or flashy as machines, but they work with the environment rather than against it, making them safer in the long run. Looking ahead, the future of weather control will likely be a mix of technology and nature, combined with careful rules and global cooperation. Scientists warn that we have to move slowly and think carefully about every step, because once we start changing the weather on a big scale, it will be hard to undo. So, what would really happen if humans learn to control the weather? It could bring amazing benefits like ending droughts, protecting communities from storms, and helping farmers grow food better. But it could also lead to new dangers, conflicts, and damage to the environment if not handled responsibly. At the end of the day, weather control is one of those powerful tools that could change the world for better or worse. The future depends on how wisely we use it, how well we understand nature's delicate balance, and how much we work together as a global community. What do you think? Would you trust humans with the power to control the weather, or does it sound too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're curious about more cool science topics and ideas about the future, be sure to check out my other videos.